Hello. Welcome back to Nick's Ramble ASMR. So glad to have you here. I hope that you are doing very, 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 very well today, tonight, whenever you're watching this. Today's video is a video that got actually inspired by a run I did. So I am running nowadays. I don't know if you run ever or work out or do anything to like help your body feel good, but I am running. I'm training for a marathon. You can check out one of my previous videos to tell you like the why, what, where, when, like why I'm doing a marathon. Go check it out. But on these runs, I do what's called a guided run. So on Nike Plus Run app, the Nike Plus Run app, I don't know, what is it called? You figure it out. Check the app. It's the Nike Run Club. They have this thing where you run, and when you run, you actually have this guy or this girl or whoever it is talk you through the run. And there can be multiple runs. There can be runs on different topics. For instance, there's a run on gratitude. There's a run on feeling good in your body. And there's also a run on how to be fearless. How to be fearless. And I listened to that a day ago, and I took a lot away from it, and I wanted to share that with you guys because fear is something that I think we all face. I think that you face. I know I face it. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it, have an open conversation, and I want to see if this, sticks with you at all. I first wanted to talk about with you guys like where fear stems from. And I'm not, I'm not like a therapist or anything. I'm just a boy in LA living a life. I'm 26 years old. So, this is just my experience and stuff. Take it as you will. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you agree or disagree, throw them in the comments down below. But first I want to start off like where we think fear stems from, and why we hold on to it so much, and why you're afraid of certain things versus other things in your life. And I think something that was really important on my run that I learned, that I hope you know too, is fear is an innate feeling. It is something that you are programmed to feel. It is a very good thing that you feel fear. It is very good that you feel scared. It's very good that you get those butterflies and all that stuff. Now, I know it doesn't feel good. It feels like crap or it feels scary. But there's a reason why we feel those certain things. And the reason is it helps protect us. Fear helps protect us. And in order to become fearless, it's important for us to understand why fear exists and why we have it. So fear protects us. It's that feeling, that gut feeling. When people say that gut feeling, and it can be whatever it is for you, but for me, it's like usually in my stomach or my chest. I had it actually a few days ago. I was hanging around people. I was at Halloween Fest in Universal. When I went through like the mazes of scary things and stuff, like haunted houses, and I got scared. Talk about fear. I got scared because it's a scary house. But then I also had anxiety from being around new people that I didn't know. So anxiety of being scared and anxiety about being around new people. I had that flight or fight reaction, which is hopefully something that you know about. But if you don't know, I guess there's actually three. But when you are in danger, there's like three different modes that you turn into. You can either become a fighter. If someone's running at you, do you fight them? Do you flee, which is flight? Do you run? Or I think there's another one, which is like you freeze. But I don't know how many people freeze. Do you freeze? If you're a freezer, let me know. But I think I'm definitely a flight person. And that's just how you react to fear. But I felt those fears, and I left the hangout early. I left the night early. I had a roommate call me out and, said that she had lost her keys. Felt a little guilty about that. I should have just been more honest, but, we're doing the best we can. So I want you to think about the last time you felt fear. And maybe since you clicked on this, maybe you're actually feeling really fearful and scared about things in your life right now. And I know it's not a good feeling, I really do. It's so scary, and it's something you can't rationalize always. You can't always rationalize it. It's something that just happens to your body, and it's annoying, and it's frustrating. But there's a purpose, and I think it's important for us to be grateful about it. That gut feeling is what's going to make you leave certain situations that don't feel good. It's going to trigger you to start thinking about things like, why do I not feel good? Let's figure it out, right? It's supposed to help you change and evolve. That feeling is your body telling you, hey, we're not safe here. Let's move somewhere else. It's literally that feeling. And sometimes it's confusing because sometimes it's not as clear as like, do I just move locations? Do I change different jobs, different people? You know, it's not clear. And that's where it gets overwhelming, right? And I think that's okay, but it's frustrating. Now, that might be why we tend to want to become fearless, right? That feeling, you know, it's like we have this feeling, we have this dread, this anxiety of being scared about things, you know, maybe we should feel like we shouldn't be scared of. You know, public speaking, you know, going on a jog late at night, you know, meeting new people. We have all those scary things. And I think the thing is, like, yeah, it's really important to have those, but we all have them. And what's important about being fearless, like, so I understand we get those icky vibes and we want to work towards being fearless because we don't want to hold on to them anymore, right? We want to just like live a free, happy life. You know, you might look at someone and that's really confident and you're like, well, how are they doing that? I want to do that, right? Nick, how do I become more confident? How do I live a life where I just attack and I go for the things I want to go for and I don't let fear hold me back? I become fearless. So let's talk about it. I think the best thing that I learned on this run, and I highly recommend running and being active because it releases all this dopamine. It's basically like a drug that makes you, you know, open to things. What the guy told me is he said something like this. This is verbatim, but he said that being fearless doesn't mean not having fears. It's meaning that you have the confidence within yourself to go for your fears anyways, and a reason why. So, for instance, I thought this was just so mind-opening. Like, I thought this was just so insightful. And I don't know, do you think that's insightful as well? Like, this idea, fear is always going to exist. Okay, so, like, what I was just saying is, like, it's innate, right? It's in your body. It's who you are. It's okay. It's a really good thing. My own philosophy, and I think this makes sense, let me know if you agree, but also, isn't it crazy? Like, I know we're in like 2023 or whenever you're watching this, that seems like a lot of years, but for us as humans, that's like a blip. Like, the last 2,000 years is just a blip in our existence. So our body hasn't actually evolved yet, you know, to technology, to the life that we're living. All the technology, all the, you know, internet, all came in the last 20 years. Our body hasn't developed and, you know, changed its way of thinking to adapt to this culture. So we're still in kind of like a primal mindset and body in a very futuristic world, you know. So our body is still, you know, looking out for food, looking out for mates. We get scared, we get angry, you know, from in times where it shouldn't really feel like we should. And it's because, you know, we live in a world right now, which I know I feel very blessed. I don't know where you are, so you might just totally disagree. You might be in a moment where you are really scared about life right now, and that's totally, you know, everything will work out, and I'm sending you all that energy. Everyone from this channel is. But we live in a world where there's not a lot of danger to us all the time. We live in a world where maybe the scariest thing is public speaking. It's running out at night. It's talking to new people. And our body's trying to find the things that scare us and try to protect us. It doesn't make sense to our body that we would live in a world where there is no danger, where we aren't, you know, always hungry, where we don't have mates. The fact that we all get stimulated to this and all of this all the time, our body doesn't know what to do. And that's why you can sometimes be in like a fear overload. So these things that seem really easy or should be easy, like all the things I just said, like public speaking, everything, feel terrifying because your body has nothing else to be afraid of. Okay. And I think what's important is realizing that fear is always going to be there. Fear is always going to be there. The way you become fearless and more confident is not trying to get rid of your fears. I will say that again. The way that you become more confident and fearless is not trying to get rid of your fears. It's this. It's this having this confidence in yourself that you are strong enough, you are brave enough, you are smart enough, pretty enough, whatever you need to be enough of to handle your fears straight on. So when you do your public speaking, when you go on that date, when you go running, you have, you're going to be scared. It's okay. When you do anything for the first time, you're scared, right? It's your body. Your body, innate self, is telling you, yo, this is uncomfy, like, this is something new, like, we should be fearful. We want to be in a comfortable state all the time. And this isn't comfy. The way you become fearless is you go through your fears and you have faith that you can do it. And you have, what usually helps is a reason why, like a deeper reason why. So for instance, and focusing on that why, so if you have like a public speaking thing, instead of focusing on the fear of, oh my God, all these people are watching me, maybe next time focus on the feeling of, why are you giving this presentation? Is the message you're telling really important? Let's get in that mindset of, the message I am telling is something that these people need, and I am the vessel for that. And I cannot wait to share this message. And yeah, you might mess up, but that doesn't matter, right? Because as long as you get the message, that's a success. So you can say anything you want. You can be naked on stage. You can have like a close up, like all your fears. You can have people laughing at you. You can have people crying. But as long as they get the point of your message, which is why you're doing it, it's a success. Okay. It's a success. And I really felt that. Well, actually, I want you to think about a time. Have you felt that recently? Was there something that was really scary where you just gave in and you were like, okay, I know I can handle this? And then you did? If so, let me know in the comments. I will tell you a little ramble story about mine right now, and then we'll keep going in, and I'll talk about, what most people are usually afraid of, not just public speaking, but in how to get rid of those, about like other people and fear of failing and all of that. I'll talk about how we can get rid of those, I think. But my story is, I felt this feeling of confidence when I did a short film recently. I was so scared to do a short film, something I'd never done. I never directed or wrote or produced anything, and I just did it. And I had faith that when I was on set, anything could happen, but I had faith that, hey, Nick, it's really, really scary to not have everything planned out, but you are smart enough, you are courageous enough, kind enough to make it work and figure out a solution. That goes for you. In any situation where you're afraid, I'm giving you the power, we're all giving you the power to say, hey, you're smart enough, you're capable enough, you're whatever you need to be enough of to do the thing. And you're going to be scared, but you're going to feel adrenaline and you're going to feel excited eventually. So that's what, and I think the thing with being fearless too is so we have fears, right? But it's this little practicing of doing little fears to get to the big fears and being like improving yourself. Hey, I do got this. I'm scared, but I can actually do this. I can succeed when I'm scared. That is the really exciting thing about all of this. So whatever your next thing is, work your way up to it. You don't have to take the big step. You don't have to do, if you're doing public speaking, you don't have to do the full public speaking thing. Maybe you record yourself. Maybe you say it to one friend and first. Start proving yourself that you're succeeding. And once you get to the big thing, you'll have all of this stuff that you succeeded in that backs up your explanation to yourself on why you can do it. That's what I do. So, for instance, I want to write a feature film. The fact that I did a short film, it's now like, okay, well, you did that, so yeah, you can do this. You give yourself credibility. That's important. So most of the things that people are really afraid of, and let me know if you agree, because I agree with all of these, is there's 4 certain things. The first one is what others think of you. what others think of you. The second one is fear of failing. The third one is ego, how you're perceived, kind of like what others are thinking of you. And the fourth one is discomfort of fear, basically embarrassment. So to be fearless, how do we get rid of what others think of you? And I think that's the really important thing. It's such an interesting part of life, isn't it? You know, you grow up trying to fit in, and then you eventually grow up trying to be different. You know, you want to separate yourselves out when you get into college and high school from your parents. You know, you don't want to, you want to be special. You know, that's all, like, it's just so funny how that works. What you have to understand, and what I've been learning recently in my life, right? So this is all just from my experience, but what people think of you, the reason it doesn't matter is because of multiple things. One, they don't know your full story, okay? They don't know what you've been through, what you're going through. They don't know anything really about your life. And I'm saying everyone. I'm saying even your parents. I'm saying even the people that you think are your best friends. They don't know everything about you. And I know you might feel like, oh, that's sad, that's scary, but it's true. You are the only one that knows everything about you. So that means that you know, all the failures, all the successes, all your dreams, all your responsibilities. You have the whole picture of your life and where you want to go and who you actually want to be in all this, even if you can't really see it yet. Think of it as like a map. If you ever play a video game, you know how like it's like a small map, and like the further you go out, it like illuminates more of the map. That's your life, and only you have the whole map. Other people will come in and they'll see like a little portion of maybe what you've lit up or what you are trying to show them, but they're not going to have access to everything. Because of that, they're not going to make the best decision for you. Okay? What they can do is maybe they can like reflect back what you're saying to them, and that's really useful. But at the end of the day, what their advice, what they think of you, is going to be a reflection of A, what you tell them, B, what you present about yourself to them, and C, a reflection of them back to you. Okay? How their opinion of who they are, of like who you are to them, is how they want to feel about you. Okay, let me say it again. Their opinion about you is how they want to feel about you. So if they love you, if they're like best friends, that's because they want to be best friends. They want to love you. If they are angry, if they're jealous, it's because they want to be jealous of you. They're angry about you. It's not anything about you. It's all about them. Okay? So we're going to take all of that, whatever anyone said mean about you, whatever, anyone's even saying compliments about you, it's just their reflection of how they want to feel about you. Okay, it's not who you are. Like you said, it's only a portion of the map. You have access to everything, okay? So if you think like that, it's so stupid to allow what people say to inform how you think about yourself, what you do with your life, and what you're afraid of. Okay, it is so stupid. So please remember that. I try to remember that too. You're the only one that knows your whole story, and you shouldn't allow access to people to make you feel inferior. I heard this quote. It's like, is it that Theodore Roosevelt, or it's Roosevelt? Someone, maybe it's I don't know, but okay, butchering. But it's this like, you can only become inferior if you allow people to make you feel inferior. So you can only give people access to control your life if you give them access to. And to be honest, it's sometimes nice to give people access to control your life, right? It's scary to feel like you're in control of everything. Well, you're not, okay? Things are going to happen out of your control, but it's important for you to step into this autonomy. If you really want to become fearless, it's really important for you to step up into this idea of, I decide what my life is. I am who I am. If people like me, that's great. If they don't, that's great too. They don't know my full story. They only see what I present to them. And that's how it's always going to be. I can't change that. So when you have that access, I think that will free you up a little bit, right? So just remember that everyone's a reflection of themselves. And, be careful what you allow them to let you think about yourselves. It's exciting when someone's like, you're so cute, you're so confident, you're so pretty, you're so amazing, right? Like, it feels good. But when you take that in and you validate that, you are also allowing people when they say negative things, to validate that as well. Okay, so I know the good stuff feels good. And let it be a reflection of like, oh, these are people I should surround myself with, people that support me, but don't let it define you, okay? Don't let it define you. Even the good stuff, which is like, feels very counterintuitive, but I'm telling you, if you really want to be fearless, you gotta let people's opinions in total just kind of like rub off you and, you know, take what you want from yourself. The next thing that people are really scared of is the fear of failing, which is so fair. Everyone hates, I guess this can go into the discomfort of fear and embarrassment and everything. I want you to remember that there is no such thing as failing. Let me say that again. There's no such thing as failing. Society has kind of created this impression that there is a thing like failing, where it's like you just don't be the thing that everyone wants, right? But once you take out this idea that like you don't care what people think, or maybe you care but you don't let it impact you, you know, you're like, okay, I'm me, you can kind of define what failing is to you. And well, basically what I'm saying is like, failing doesn't exist because for you, as long as you try something and learn from it, that's a success. Doing something is a success. I think what you should be really afraid of, and right, this is the thing, this is my opinion, you're gonna figure this out for you, see what, if anything, resonates, but what I get afraid of is being indifferent, being stagnant, you know, sometimes being too comfortable. It's good to always be pushing yourself, and it's never about the end goal. It's never about, you know, are all these people gonna, oh, sorry. It's like not the idea that all these people are really gonna like cheer me on or anything. Like, figure out what success is for you and go for it. Yeah, I think failing is just not doing anything. But also, if you do believe in failing, if you're like, no, Nick, failing is a thing, I want you to remember the people that you idolize, that you look up to, that you dream about being, the reason they got there is they fucking failed. They failed hard. Okay, they failed really, 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 really hard. You have to. If you're going to be at a really high state of excellence, you have to learn how to fail. And you have to fall in love with it, because you only succeed if you are pushing and trying and being nuanced, right? But the only way you're nuanced is by allowing yourself to be embarrassed. But how can people be embarrassed? Well, I'm going to ask you, how would you allow yourself to be embarrassed? If, like we said, you take away the power from other people to define who you are. So just remember, if you're afraid of failing, all the successful people fail. And I think that the journey of life is falling in love with failing. Also, if it makes you feel better, the people that you want to be, or, you know, the goals you want to be, the people that are there, if you fail, so for instance, in my life, if I really want to be a big shot, Hollywood screenwriter, actor, director, whatever, say I did my short film and I failed and it was so bad, and it might be, I mean, you know, it's up to people's opinions. The thing is, those people are not going to shame me for failing, because those people did the same thing and they failed, or they did it really well, or whatever. They will appreciate you working hard. The people that will shame you are people that are jealous of you, are people that, you know, couldn't be, are so afraid of doing anything that they look out in their lives for people to be failing, so they get feedback that it's okay for them not to do anything. You don't want to be around those people. You don't want to get advice from those people, okay? You don't. And it's important that you don't. So just remember that, okay? So if anyone's ever going to embarrass you about failing, those are people that hold power in failing, which we don't, okay? You and I are not going to be like that. And those are the people that you're trying to be anyways. You know, don't take advice from people that you don't want to be like. It's good to listen, and it's good to, you know, question things, but at the end of the day, you know you better than anyone. The next thing is ego. It's the way, you know, how do people see me? How do people, you know, we're afraid of, like, Am I not cool enough? Am I not attractive enough? What if I end up alone? I'm realizing this all stems from the first thing of letting go of the fear of what people think of you. Okay? And when you let go of how people think of you, you will also let go of how you feel about yourself. Because what you're going to realize is how incredible you are, your whole story, how unique you are. And you won't have to prove that to people, because there's no point in proving it to people, honestly, because no one's ever going to understand your full story. So when you let go of that guard of, hey, I have to present myself, hey, I have to be nice, hey, I have to be all this stuff. But if deep down you know, hey, I am a nice person, I've done all this before, hey, I am creative, I've done this before, hey, I am a great lover because I've done this before. Or if you haven't done it, you're like, I know I want to. You don't have to present that stuff, because it will come out when it's supposed to. You'll let down your guard, and your ego is kind of what hides you from being authentically yourself. And when you let go of your ego, people will be able to actually see you. They'll see your flaws and your amazingness and all of that. And I really believe, and this is what I wrote my short film about, it's Backyard Flowers, which is out now, or it's in festival circuits. It's this idea that, showing your flaws is the only way that you get people to love you. It allows them to let down their guards. And love is about loving the imperfections, loving the things that we're not supposed to love about each other, making each other feel comfortable. And I hope you feel that here. Your weirdness, your uniqueness, your specialness is so accepted here. I want you to just let go of everything you think you're supposed to be. You just breathing right now is enough, and it's more than enough. It's great. I feel very lucky to be here with you. So thank you for showing up. And yeah, I think something, we just talked about fearlessness and how to kind of be, about fear and what people are afraid of. And now how do we go about this life of being fearless? And remember, fearless, this is counterintuitive. Fearless doesn't mean not having fear. It means having the courage to go do things that you're afraid of, and having self-confidence. So the thing I want you to take away is that action is the best way to do this. Be specific with some goals. Be specific with things that scare you. Write them down. I know you're going to be like, but Nick, I don't want to face it. Or like, Nick, that's overwhelming. I promise you, if you write down your fears, it's going to be hard for you to write down because you're going to realize how vague they've been. And when you realize, really deep down, realize how vague your fears have been, it will free you up, because you'll be like, wait, these aren't real. The fears that are real, now that's something we can do about. What we would do is we break down those fears into little segments, into as small of steps that we can do, and we will take those steps together. So public speaking, if you're actually afraid of speaking on stage, we would break it down to, okay, well, let's practice in the mirror first. And let's build up. Remember, start small. Build up that credibility for yourself, because you can do anything you set your mind to. You really can. And you can be fearless one day. And it's good to have fear and feel scary and scared about all this stuff. Remember, we're accepting that. Allow yourself to accept that you're scared about these things, but be specific. What are you scared of? Okay, you're scared of that. That's good. It's good to be scared. But let's also remember that you can take action, and you can have self-confidence and a meaning why to help you push through those fears. So I encourage you to be courageous. Tell everyone what you are currently scared of. I bet you there are other people in this community that are also agreeing with you on being scared of stuff. And let's be open about how we have confidence to go after that scary stuff. And let's create a meaning why. What's an important reason why you would go after those fears? Because I think when you attack fears on, do the things that's scary, it opens up a lot about yourself to yourself. It will open the map of your life to you, and you'll have more freedom to go around, and you won't be as fearful. You'll be fearless. You'll be fearless. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment, be courageous. What are you afraid of? Or if you made it this far and you want to show love and courage to other people to share their stuff, feel free to put in a star in the comments. I will see that and I will know that you made it all the way through. If you enjoy this content, please consider joining our Hive. Click the join button down below. It is the price of a coffee, and it helps this channel grow, and you'll have more intimate videos like this and access to it with such wonderful human beings. I'm really trying to create an intimate group of people that's more protected from the public, so we can really work on becoming the better versions of ourselves. Consider joining and subscribe so you don't get lost into the web of nicksrambleasmr, so you don't lose this channel. And last but not least, hit the bell notification, because YouTube gets sassy sometimes and they don't like showing my videos, which is fine. But if you like this video, make sure that you get notified when they all come out, because I post 4 times every week. And yeah, have a wonderful day, my friend. I love you a lot.